So with greetings, shall go for the discussion with the frequently asked questions on Rasashastra in routine clinical practice. And specifically, once we speak about the Rasashastra in the present day trends, people have lots of doubts. People have lots of queries. Can we really go for the administration of these metals and minerals as therapeutics? Is it really feasible to go for the therapeutics, or is it really logical to go for the therapeutic evaluation of the Rasashastra or the metals and minerals as a treatment modality, or am I doing wrong? If I want to practice, and every practitioner do have any number of doubts, what is the dosage form, how much of drug can I give, how many days can I prescribe a Rasashastra, can I give a herbal drug with a mineral drug, can I go with the administration of Rasashastra with specifications, if at all. Any of the textbook did it speak about the Rasashastra in a particular fashion? And the most sarcastic way is few of them are having even the query stating like, if Rasashastra do actually follow the doshas, dushyas, samprapti, vigatana, is it under the same umbrella of Ayurveda, or whether Rasashastra is a separate entity? So there are various questions which people have, where various queries wherein the practitioner is having, whether it is been logical to go into the practice of Rasashastra or not. So to rule out or to discuss with a few of such queries, whether we can go with the Rasashastra practice or not, whether really we are doing some logic in practice or not, thought of starting this series of questions, usually what people ask as frequently asked questions on Rasashastra in routine practice. And always Rasashastra is said to be a mythological science. Rasashastra is one such department in Ayurveda which is very highly and detailedly linked to the ethics of the Indian culture. It is very much attached to the mythological origins. Every drug which you deal in Rasashastra is having a mythological origin. Almost most of them are having a mythological origin. The whole science of Rasashastra is called as a Shiva Shastra. The whole science of Rasashastra is a science of metals and minerals, and every metal and mineral is being derived from a mythological origin in Indian culture. And based on these cultures, or based on these sciences, with the salutation of the god, the science is being named as a tantric cult. So people have a fear. It's a tantra. It's not a mantra siddhanta. Tantra is something like a occult science, what people think about. Again, they're making a mistake here. The whole Ayurveda, it itself is a tantram. Agnivesha krute tantram, which you get in Charaka Samhita. It is tantra. We are not from the mantra sampradaya. We are from the tantra sampradaya. Tantra sampradaya doesn't mean like it's occult science and it's only to do the vashikarana or some other things to the people and try to devastate the universe. It is a science for the development, because Ayurveda and Rasashastra are into such sciences as the Tantra Siddhanta. And this particular Tantra is a pathway of getting the salvation, because Shashvatam and Moksham are few of the words extensively used in the Rasa textbooks, and these words are being exclusively used for the Tantric cult, and many similarities are being observed. But let us go to the Chikitsa discussion rather than the mythological discussions. So with this brief of the salutation to the Lord Shiva as a tantric cult, because the whole science is based on Mercury and mercurial preparation, and Mercury itself is considered as Sakshat Shiva Swarupam. So it itself is a sort of a derivative from the Lord Shiva. So usually it happens like people will have the processing of the rasa preparations and its long history of the clinical utility. People ask a question, is it really safe in administering the rasaushadis? Is it really logical to go for the administration of rasaushadis? Because we name ourselves as most scientific people. This is a myth what the modern man thinks about. Just because he roams about in a very sophisticated vehicles or a sophisticated concrete forest, it doesn't mean like he is a developed man. The average life expectancy is always reducing nowadays. It is just because of the reason people who are well are also on medication. People who are ill are also on medication. The person who is been on earth is basically every day taking some medications. So who is ruling we people? Is it the a king? Is it the god? Or is it the medicine? It's always a question raised about. And it is very true, whether you believe it or not, we are survived only because every person is been gulping medicine, rather than he might not eat food today, but he is definite to eat the medicines. He has become so addicted towards the medicines. And does this protocol is really beneficial for the humanity? And every decade you have new set of drugs, new generation of drugs are coming out, and these things suggest like the body is not accepting the previous one. Something which is being discovered is not accepted by the universe, by the mother nature, or by the humans. So you have a new innovation on it. Necessity is the mother of invention. You have so much of sophisticated medical services all around the globe, but still people are dying. You have the situations of those kinds. Might be it is a trauma, might be it is a situations like this pandemic, it could be diseases of the disastrous conditions. We have people who are dying at younger age, we have people who are dying at a elderly age. Are we able to arrest it? No. Absolutely no. It's a process of making what well-being we can do with the humans. And with this particular processing, it is always interesting to note about when a particular drug, so-called scientifically proven as safe and effective, is not able to survive even for a decade time possibly. Before that, you have so many questions on it as some untoward effect, side effect, or it's a banned drug, or it happens like it turns out to be toxic, or it is having some other issues concerned with it. But it's not the same with that of the Ayurveda. It's not the same with that of Rasashastra. It's having a very long history. The textbook of Charaka Samhita, the textbook of Rasaratna Samuchaya, the textbook of Rasatarangini, possibly from 3rd century, 13th century and 20th century textbooks. All the three are having a like phenomenon. It is dealing with the same tridhoshas, saptadhatus. It is dealing with the same medicines. It is having the same culture of treatment practice. The same samprapti. We did not change any of our sampraptis. We did not add the 4th or the 5th dosha to the tridoshas. We did not have a ashtama dhatu. We have only 7 dhatus. We don't have a 8th dhatu. There was no reformation right from the period of Samhitas, the documented versions, to till date of 2020, the period of Rasatarangini. Nothing changes has been observed. The textbook of Rasaratna Samuchaya has spoken about some formulation. Might be it is Mrutyunjarasa, Arogyavardhini, or Sarveshwara Parpati, or either. The same formulation acts in the same therapeutic dosage form, in the same therapeutics even today. Till today, we are having the same treatment modalities. There is no changes at all. Absolutely no changes. Means this has become Shashvatam. It has become a sort of immortal. These formulations which are being innovated by our acharyas have proven their efficacy right from the period of 3rd century to 20th century is a very strong source to say like the science is a real virtue to an individual. So instead of neglecting this sacred science, it is always better to appreciate the basic thing is the long history and the acceptance of the people right from the period of 3rd century to 20th century. Of course, the textbook speaks about the sources of the Ayurveda and Rasashastra right from the prehistoric period, might be from the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilization. We have the references. We have, when we go into the alchemy, you find detailed evaluation of so many civilizations where they used alchemy as a science, where it was being adopted into the human therapeutics. So all these phenomena are said to be very important before we enter into the actual subject. So the process of the rasa preparation and its long history of clinical utility is a very strong backbone to say like the acceptance of the people was quite high. Whereas the things of physiology, the things of pharmacology were once accepted have been altered today, have been changed today, they have been reformed. Might be it's a sort of a development, we don't know. But what about the people who have followed so-called the false statements or false reports all these years? There is everything which is changing. The parameters are changing, the lab investigations are changing, the diagnostic tools are changing. The diseases which were once named are named different today. The drug which was to be proven effective one day is not acting on the humans today in the other sciences. But this is not the same with that of Ayurveda. Mrityunjaya Rasa was claimed as Jwaragna prior to the 10th century, and it is Jwaragna even today. Even till today I am prescribing it in my patient suffering from fever, and it is acting. And it is acting. Therapeutics are wonderful. Therapeutics are wonderful. So on this process I say, this history itself will prove, stating like the people are said to have a elongated form of therapeutics. The selection of drug Grahya Lakshana is an important phenomena, because people claim like whether rasa practice or rasa chikitsa, is it a coined term or really Rasashastra is related to a clinical entity? To slam to such thoughts of the learned people, let me travel into the textbook of the Rasashastra, where they enter as the Grahya Lakshanas, the first step of drug identification, where we see certain features. When you read the textbook of Rasaratna Samuchaya, Acharya has explained the Grahya Lakshana of every drug. And every drug, the Grahya Lakshana is given importance based on their therapeutics and also for the identification. Say for example, wherein the people have started to identify the Grahya Lakshanas as Mlecha Tamra is said to be Shrestha, whereas the Nepala Tamra is said to be the other variety. So Mlecha and Nepala are the two types of Tamras. So one variety is said to be the excellent quality, the another variety is not said to be an excellent quality. Nepala variety is used in the therapeutics. Mlecha is also used in the therapeutics. In case, then what happens to him clinically? There are some untoward effect in using the drug which is not Grahya. Then what happens to him? What are the therapeutic forms? In case if you have the doshas in the mercury, what are called as Kanchuka doshas, or you have Giri dosha, Vani dosha, you got Aupadika dosha, Yogika doshas, all these types of doshas which are inbuilt qualities, if it is being administered to an individual, then it causes complications. It causes complications which are observed clinically. So this is important. When you give a abraka which is not selective as a Krishna abraka or Vajra abraka, then what happens to it? Then it is going to deteriorate. The person is going to deteriorate once it has been clinically administered. It causes complications in an individual. It causes a diabetes in case if abraka is not suited to a Grahya Lakshan. It causes mutrashmari. It causes complications in an individual. So right from the Grahya Lakshana assessment or selection of the drug, Rasa people are clinically oriented. Rasa people are observing the clinical outset of the drug and then considering the Grahya Lakshan. So this is important. Once you have collected, the next process what you do is a Shodhana. So what happens in Shodhana? So it happens like in Shodhana, like people have enumerated so many literatures you get from the textbooks. As removing the parada doshas, you get a benefit of these kinds. In case if samyak Shodhana is not achieved, then this therapeutic complications you get. Similarly, it has been observed for all the drugs which are being explained in the textbook of Rasashastra. So these are the advantages, and again Shodhana is being attributed to the therapeutics. If you do Shilajatu Shodhana with Dashamola, it becomes more Shotagna. If you do Shilajatu Shodhana with Trifala, then it becomes more Rasayana and Srotosramsana with Anulomana. If you do Shilajatu Shodhana with Gomutra, it becomes more Lekhana. If you do Shilajatu Shodhana with Kshira, then it becomes Rasayana. So the therapeutics of the drug has been altered. The Shodhana process which has been adopted is not alone to remove the toxins, it is also meant to increase the potency of the drug in a therapeutic evaluation. So that is the reason why the Shodhana is said to be a very important phenomenon in the procedure, pharmaceutical processing of any of the drug. And this is a very important step, and it is clinically oriented. The next thing what you have is a Marana. So what you do in Marana, you convert them into the Bhasmas. So converting them into the Bhasma, you have so many methods of adopting for the Marana, and all these Maranas, whatever the techniques are explained, you have some 50, 60, 80 types of Maranas with various proportion of drugs, with various Bhavana Dravya, various Marana Dravya. You have the styles of treatment, and all these things are again therapeutic. Say for example, if you do Marana with, like example with that of the Abrakabhasma, you do Marana with Kasamardhaswarasa, then that particular Abrakabhasma is more Kasashvasagna. In case if Marana is being done with that of Erandapatra Swarasa, then that Abrakabhasma becomes more therapeutically active in Vatavyadi. So these are the variations what you have, and this is our Marana Siddhanta. Not even a single phrase of either of our textbooks are wrong. Every textbook, every shloka is a matter of research, and we are unable to prove even a single word or a single line of either of the shlokas from the classical textbooks in respect to the therapeutics. Similarly, Marana is said to be the best variety with that of Parada Marita. Similarly, Marana with that of Gandhaka is said to be the third variety. The one with that of the Kastaushida Marita is said to be the average variety. The worst variety is said to be Ariloha. Arilohena lohasya maranam durguna pradam. So you have the references stating as Lohana maranam shreshtam sarvesham rasabhasmana. So there you have, once you do the Marana with any of the dhatus with that of the Parada Bhasma, then it is said to be the best variety of Bhasma. Madhyama Mulika, in case if it is with the herbal media, then it is said to be an average. The one with Gandhaka is said to be a low variety. The one with that of the herbal, with that of the Ariloha, where you have an enemy set of drugs, then it is said to be Nikrushta. These are the various types of Maranas, and all of them are based on therapeutics. Why they are based on therapeutics? We will be going through them in detail in eventual slides. The next step taken is about the Amrutikarana, where you do the Avashesha Dosha Nirharanartham. Amrutikarana is being carried out. It is to be carried out for all the dhatus. It's not only for Tamra, because it has been explained in the context of Tamra. Amritikarana should be carried out for all the dhatus. In case if you are having a suspicion as you want to remove the avashesha doshas, we have definitely done to the best possible way the Shodhan and Maran, but still due to some reasons there are some avashesha doshas left out. To cross confirm yourself like you don't have any of the left out toxins in your drug, Acharya has been reformed the therapeutics in the form of Amrutikarana. So this is a scientific evidence. how beautifully Acharya has reframed himself the concepts of the therapeutics in Rasashastra. Look at the beauty that he has selected an ideal drug named it as Graha Lakshana. During the Shodhana he adopted the therapeutics, during the Marana he adopted the therapeutics. To re-evaluate his own concepts, he has reformed the concept of Amrutikarana, which is considered as one of the best means because it is going to remove the Avashesha doshas and also it is going to make the drug as Amruta Tulya. So it is going to make the drug as Amruta Tulya, which is considered as one of the best methods. The next thing what he has explained is once you have performed the Amrutikarana, you get a Bhasma Siddhi Lakshanas, where you again reassess like the process what you have done is accomplished in a proper way, and for that what it Acharya do is given certain set of Bhasma Siddhi Lakshanas. All are again based on scientific evaluations. They are with scientific grounds, stating as Varitara, wherein the Bhasma, when you put it over the water, it floats. So it floats in the sense it's nothing but the surfactant action of the Bhasma over the water molecules, where it is allowing to make it to float. And this is called as a Beyoncé's law, which we have studied in the possibly in the 6th standard as a Beyoncé's law. Why ship floats on water? This is experiment what we had. It is not because the ship is light, it is able because the ship of surface action is such a way like it is able to float on water. The same way is the Varitara, wherein you can make the Bhasma to float on water. It happens only in case if you have fineness of the particles, or else you cannot do that. Say for example, to rule out, because many people think so as Varitara as lightness, I say you take one lotus leaf, weight might be it's around 8 grams approximately, I am saying this. You put it over the water. The same 8 grams weighing lotus leaf is taken, convert it into the form of a kalka and put it in the same water. Will it float? Never. Why it doesn't float? Because there is no surfactant action in the kalka of the lotus leaf which you people have prepared now. So that surface tension or that surface action is essential, and this is named as Varitara. This is for the fineness of the particles. To cross conform it, again Acharya has claimed about the Rekha Purnata, where you take small amount of Bhasma and it is being rolled in between the fingers of a person, between 2 fingers, usually the thumb and the index finger. The Bhasma, in case if it can settle in between the natural folds of the skin, then it is considered as a test positive, means it has passed the test of Rekha Purnata. So this is how it is being done. So when you read the textbook of dactylography, the science of fingerprinting, wherein it is being explained, the space between the 2 natural folds in the fingers of a human is approximately around 2 to 8 microns. Because sometimes the lines are converging, sometimes the lines are diverging, sometimes they are parallel, and you have some variations in the spaces. But unless and until the Bhasma is so minute, you cannot expect it to have the Rekha Purnata. You cannot expect it to have this. Next is Niruddha and Apunarbhava. The chemistry or chemical tests to re-evaluate, there is no metallic component in the end product, wherein you heat the substances in the puta, either in Niruddha or in Apunarbhava, where you give the Dravaka Gana Bhavana, or other way you keep it inside with a copper vessel in a musha, with a copper coin inside the musha, heat it. So these are both the techniques are almost the same, wherein you can see that in case if you have any of the metallic components in your Bhasma will get merged out or evolved outside. So this is again a cross confirmation to say like there is no free metallic components in the end product. That is the reason why Acharya has done the Niruddha and Apunarbhava test. Next thing he says about the Lagutha, Aswadu and other tests. Many tests are very specific. Like you have more specifically Abraka Bhasma should be Nischandra Yukta. Bhasma should always be Nischandratva. It should not have the shining particles in it. Whereas Ayurveda Prakasha has said Tamra Bhasma, in case if it is Paradamarita, then it should be Sa Chandrika Yukta. it should have the shining particles in it. Then it is considered as the best variety or the Parada Marita Tamra. So there are certain alterations. There is a Dadi Pariksha which has been explained for the components of copper. Either it is Tamra, or in case if it is Tutta Bhasma, or it is Swarnamakshika Bhasma, or either of the Bhasmas derived with that of the copper ingredient, then you need Dadi Pariksha. So Aswadu, again the taste of the drug, wherein you put it into the mouth and you should not have any taste pertaining. So this is an exception only for the Sudha Vargya Dravyas, where you have the Kshariyata in them, the taste. Other than that, you don't have any taste in it. You will not have any taste in that. It becomes Aswadu. It becomes Aswadu. So these are few of the phenomena wherein the textbook has.
With this gesture of understanding the Rasashastra, the way how to build up the concepts of the correct way of analyzing or understanding the Rasashastra could be the motto of a successful clinical practice. To make this more evident, to make this in a better way, I have come up with this site as Indian Institute of Ayurveda and Rasashastra to see that the enthusiasts of Rasa practice be evolved in India and elsewhere, and try to see what best we can do to the humanity with this science. So do visit, do link, do bond with us. Let us be like Parada and Gandhaka together to make this a successful journey into the world of Indian Institute of Ayurveda and Rasashastra. Thank you very much.